Good morning, YouTube. This is Chuck Jennels. I'm going to do a little video here on hand dredges and some to-dos and some not to-dos, and hopefully it'll be useful to you in case you want to do one, because they are fairly pricey. At least in my opinion they are. I've seen them for $59, $69. And what you see here on this table, all of this, with the exception of this, that's my old one, I'll show you why in a minute. All of this was like 20 bucks. And it's everything you need to build a really good hand dredge. And one that you can adjust on the end of it. And I'll show you why that's important here in a second. But so that's it for just showing you all the stuff. Let me go through it for you anyhow. Obviously this is PVC cement. This is interesting. I tried to get this at Home Depot, the one store, and they said, you know, we don't cut that 2-inch. We only cut, I think it's up to 1 inch. So I went to the other store and they had the 2-inch, 3-inch, and 4-inch. But what this is 24 inches of 2-inch PVC, 24 inches of 3/4 inch PVC, and that's what you need to build this whole thing. This is a 3/4 T, and that 3/4 T will, let's see, where am I? Can you see the 3/4 T? Yeah. Okay, this will be your handle, unlike this one. The other thing I have is a 3/4 cap, and that will help you have your seal in your pipe, so when you pull it will seal on the inside of the 2-inch. These are something that I think is necessary. One is a 2-inch cap here, so your handle will come through the end of this, and we will drill a hole in that, as we will drill a hole in this 3/4. But what's going to be a little different here is on the other end, what's the same end, we're going to put a coupling on here, and on that coupling, this is an adapter, and this adapter goes from 2-inch to 1-inch. And a lot of people are trying to do a 3/4 inch tube on the end of your hand dredge, and they keep plugging up on you. Well, this may prevent that, and I'll show you why. This adapter is really good. Let's see how close I can get before you get blurry here. You can see this is a 1-inch threaded hole, and this is a slip fitting on this side. This is the different side here. If you look at this, this is tapered here all the way around, so your material is coming up this way through here, and when you stop at the top of your pool, you got to be able to push that back out into a bucket or a pan. That's why this is tapered. Some of these are made, so I can't even show you, well, they have something similar to this on the inside. Well, you can't get, you'll have gold and black sand and everything stuck in this if you have that type. So look for this type, that the one side is tapered like this and threaded, and this will glue in here, a male adapter here, and this is a piece of used 1-inch that I had. I was making a spray bar. So this will screw in then into here, and you can make it however long you want, you know, probably, I don't know, 8, 9 inches. And I'll make 2 of these. One of them will be just the pipe. The other one will take a piece of the pipe here, and we'll heat it, and we'll flatten it here for maybe a couple inches. So now you'll have a crevice tool. That's the one. It won't be 1-inch diameter anymore, but it'll be bigger than a 3/4. So anyhow, that's the plan for today. The one thing I didn't show you here is this. This is a test plug for 2-inch PVC. And what you do, if you're going to pressure up a line, this goes in to the end of the pipe, and you turn the wing nut, and it locks up in the pipe, and then it turn on your water, and if you got a leak, you know where the leak is, and it'll squirt everywhere, but you want to do that beforehand. This is an Odie, and it's high-end piece, and Odie makes really good stuff. Two things I don't like these big plastic pieces on it, and this monster wing nut. So we're going to change this wing nut to this wing nut. So it'll be smaller, and I'll show you how we'll do all that here in a minute. But anyhow, that's the plan for today. So what we'll do first is we'll end up drilling this 2-inch cap. And because this is 3/4 for the handle going through here, and obviously because it's pipe, it's 3/4 ID. So you got this wall thickness on both sides besides, so you can't drill a 3/4 hole because it won't fit. So I haven't measured this exactly yet, because some of the pipe we get that aren't made in the United States are a little different sizes sometimes. But I'm guessing this is probably a 1-inch. So let me get that measured and start or drill the cap, and I'll be back. Guys, that took just a little while. A word of warning when you're drilling, especially using a step drill like this one. And it's big. Go slow, because it will melt the plastic here, and that's why I've got a rasp here that I kind of cleaned this off up here and cleaned out the hole a little bit to get all the pieces out. And you don't want to take too much off. Don't go crazy and get this too loose. But this fits really good. It's not tight. It's deadly center. So that one's good. And I'll have to clean up the mess here. And if you look here, oh, you can't see there. Okay, where's my drill? Right there. Oh, wrong way. If you look at the drill, well, let's see, where's the 1-inch on this puppy? There's the 1-inch right here. See how shiny it is now? It stopped right where I needed it to stop, so that was good. And because you don't want to go over. You go over a little bit so it isn't real tight, but you don't want to go over a bunch so it's just wobbling around in there. But with this end, it won't do that. So anyhow, clean it up a little bit with either a rat tail file or a rasp once you get it drilled. Not a big deal, just takes a few seconds. I'll be back. Alright guys, next we're going to drill the 3/4 cap. And I'm using a 5/16 drill bit that I'll drill through this. And then we'll take this guy apart and do away with that thing. Oh my goodness. So now this bolt's going to come through, especially without all this on it. Oh my goodness. This is what we're interested in here, that right there. So that's what we're going to do. This bolt has a rubber washer here on the back side and the rubber one inside, but what we're going to do is we're going to replace this big piece of plastic with this fender washer, and I believe that's a 5/16 by 1.5 inch. And then we'll put a smaller washer on it this way, and we'll go with a smaller wing nut. So we'll have something that kind of looks like this, only we're going to have this involved with it, and it will be here on this end. We'll come through from right through this, and that way we can put our pipe in it like that, and that'll be glued. So. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you the holes in there. Two things I always do. I always take a smaller bit and drill a pilot hole, and I take the next size bit or the biggest bit, and then I finish drilling. It does two things. It keeps you centered on the hole to start with, the hole that you're going to make, and it keeps you from hanging up on this, because I held this by hand. You just go slow and it'll try to twist out of your hand if you go fast. So don't do that, and drill on a piece of wood so you don't screw up your bench, always. So anyhow, there that is. So we'll take my deal off of here just to show you kind of what's going to happen here. Okay, so now they got most of the grease off of me from the rubber. Basically, this is what's going to happen. The head of the bolt now becomes inside of here, and I left the rubber washer on it, and I'm not sure that I need to do that. Let me take another look here. We'll try it like this first. That goes on here, and then your rubber donut goes on the plastic, and the flat washer, and I'm going to put a smaller flat washer on it just so it sucks up tight. And we'll go like so. And I don't have my screen turned around, so I don't have a clue what you're looking at. I guess that's pretty good. So what we'll do is keep it kind of centered on this one. Now the other ones not made by Odie don't have this plastic here. They're like two rubber donuts. And so what you do is you just tighten this down like so. And you want to get it, let me pull, let's go the other end here. And you can't see the pipe. Okay, let's try it here. So anyhow, what you do is you'll tighten that up so it just rubs in here. And you just keep turning this, and it keeps pushing this into it, and it gets thicker and thicker. And see, it's just about there. And there it is. That's perfect. And now what I'm saying you should do here, even with this, you're going to want to adjust this from time to time, and you never want it to come loose. Take a little bit of silicone and silicone these threads so that wing nut won't come off. And what we're going to do here on the inside is this is where your pipe will glue. Your pipe's going to go in here like that. So this will be, I'd like to say it's going to be totally rebuildable, and it will be except for the bolt, because you're never going to get that bolt out of there after I glue this. Alright guys, this is the inside of the one. A friend of mine made this for me years ago, probably 6 years ago. And he did an incredible job if you look here. This is machined, this slot, and what goes in here is a rubber washer. And if you watched one of my last videos, Cheryl was using this, and I cut it down 13 inches because it was over her head to use it. It was so long. But then it jammed, and this is why it jammed. These little O-rings, this is all the surface you got to seal. And what happened is this had dried out, hadn't been used for a while, and when it dried out, it pulled off of here and jammed inside, and we couldn't use it at all. And to keep that from happening even on this one, just put some soapy water in there once in a while and try to keep it out of a lot of heat. And the other thing I wanted to show you is this handle. Don't know why it was done this way, but it's one-handed handle, so you can pull two hands like that, but you can with this one too, because the one we're going to do is going to be this. You get fingers on each side of that and pull. So anyhow, I wanted to show you those two items. Still trying to make this a short video. I'm having problems there. All right, so I'm going to glue up the 3/4, and I'll be right back. I'm letting that glue set up a little bit on the other end, and it doesn't matter what direction this handle is going to go. This handle is going to go Let's see, let me get it here so we can see what I'm doing. So it's going to glue on here. Don't glue the handle on before you get the 2-inch seal in there, because then you can't get it in. So what we'll do is we'll take the 2-inch cap, put it over. Now some guys don't glue this, and I'm going to try not gluing this, but to me it can be a big problem, because once you get pulling on this thing and pushing, you pull to pull the material in and you push it out. So there's two places it should be glued, one on this end and one on this end. But what we're going to do is we're going to get some screws and just put a screw on each side of this, because you're not going to, that way this will be removable, so you can get any service work you need done in there to be done. And the only thing we're going to glue will be the handle here, which will be like yo. So then you're pulling like this, and that's a little bit too loose. So now with that there and this on, I can still adjust this end. I can still turn that and tighten it a little bit. So, yeah, very good, very good. That's much better. So the other end now, this isn't glued yet, and I know that. I'm just gonna dry fit this for now. So this end is a little different, because what I'll do, this is the piece I told you about it being tapered, and it has to go a certain way. So it has to be inside of here, so you got this sleeve, this tapered sleeve, and this edge will go right up to the inside of the coupling. So we'll glue this in, and then we'll take some screws on this and do the same as on the upper end, so we have total serviceability of it. At least that's the plan. We'll see what happens here. Let's get after this. So we're going to glue that on here. We're going to make sure when we glue it, that it runs at least up to that inside ridge here. So what I'll probably do is glue up both of them. Let's run one around there. One around here. The last time I was gluing up, I ended up spilling the whole can. And that's not good. Okay, so now what we have here is our threaded end. What we have there is the tapered end, and that will, I'm not going to put it on now because it's glue inside here, but that'll go on here like yo. And then we'll cut a piece of 1 inch and glue it to this male adapter, which you'll be able to screw this in and change it to another one in case you break it or whatever. So let me glue this up first and cut a little piece off of that. Be right back. Alright guys, so I'm going to cut this off. I'm making these 8 inches. Don't know why, just because. And this is a PVC cutter, so you don't have to use a hacksaw. They're relatively inexpensive. I don't remember what they cost. But it just ratchets and you squeeze it. So there's no sawdust all over, there's no nothing. But then you got a nice 1 inch piece. And it leaves a pretty good edge too, so it should slide into this real easy. Yeah, it does. So we'll glue that up. And this will be one of our intakes. And again, I'll do both. Try not to spill the glue. Okay. Okay, let's go here and push and twist. And there you go. So now, yuck, squirted out on me, it got me. Okay, so now we got this. after I get it to start the threads. Remember, this is just me trying to get adjusted. That's what this is. Oh man. Okay, so this is all dry fit right now. So this is dry fit, but you get the way this is supposed to work now. So this is your input tube, and you can tighten it up as tight as you want to make it, loose as you want to make it. Then we'll do another one. We can unscrew this and maybe heat this and smash it down. You know, I've done this before and just put, I think it was a couple 1-bys and a vise, and get this heated up so it's kind of mushy, and then put it in the vise and crank it down to where you want it, so you have at least a 1/4 inch gap here. Then you can have like a, I can't remember what they call those nozzles, but anyhow, it'll be for cleaning out cracks. But this is what it'll look like when it's all done. I'm not going to glue this, and I'm not going to glue that, but we will put a screw or two in, and there you have it. So that is a $20 tool that anybody can make. I mean, this can't get any simpler than this. And it saves you a ton of money, because if you go and buy 2-inch PVC, I can't remember what it is a foot now, but it's really pricey, and you only need 2 feet. This was pricey in my mind anyhow, this 2-inch. The 2-inch, I think I give like $7 for, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, 2 feet of 2-inch. But I don't have 8 feet sitting in the shop on my wall. And the same with the 3/4. The 3/4 was not that much. It was like $3 or $3 1/4 or something like that for 2 feet. They're in 2-foot sections. They're pre-made for you, pre-cut, so you don't have to mess with them. They just cost a little bit more, but you don't have 8 feet of 2-inch and 8 feet of 3/4 inch up in the shop wall. So that's the other good thing. The 1-inch I had in scrap. You can tell this was, I was making spray bars, but it didn't dry out and get bad, so there it is. Alright guys, I decided I'm going to show you how to do this little reduced piece of pipe. It's really easy. I'm going to try to get the vise in here, and that's so you can see it squish. If I can get it up there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's fairly good right there. Okay, so this part's going to be boring because it's just going to be heating it. This is just a paint stripper heat gun. And I marked it here. I'm going to do this at 3 inches. And it will be hot, by the way. If you're going to try to do a torch, it'll try to burn to get too close. Or if you stop in one spot, it'll do the same heat gun. It'll try to burn twice. And heat travels by radiation flashy. You don't want to smoke. You don't have to do that. You want to get real mushy, and it does. And then you can find it wherever you want it. Make it a vice or whatever. That was a test. It's not near normal. Oh yeah, there we go. So we'll do this, and we'll just start turning it in. Now this won't be for a little bitty crack, but that'll do it like right about there. Not sure how good you can see that. You probably can't see it at all, can you? That's in the, I can now, so I'm just going to let that stay there and set. I don't think I want it any smaller than that, because if there's rocks, any of any size, it won't go up that pipe and it'll just plug, and which it'll probably do anyhow. That's why I wanted to keep it short at 8 inch, so you can take something, a stick or anything, and poke down through this way and knock the rocks out. So now it's setting up here, kind of. No, it's still a little bit soft here. So we'll let it go for a little bit. And now I'll be back. Alright guys, this is kind of the never-ending video, but here they both are. This is the straight one. And this is the one that's smashed, so you can get right on a crack. They both fit. This one's still a little warm. But other than that, alright, now it's done. Thanks for watching. Guys, this is the never-ending video. I just tested this beautiful hand dredge. And I didn't like what it did. Once I got pulled out all the way, the water would run right out of the end of the tube, because this 3/4 is, when it pulls, it was pushing air up and coming out here. So I did this for 2 reasons. One, to let everybody know this is mine and this is my sign on it, but it just really helped when he pulled it like that and pushed into a bucket, that it held the water just a little bit longer. So anyhow, now we're at the end. Thanks again for watching and watching and watching.